Welcome to Read, Eat, Travel, Repeat, the book club and podcast with your hosts, Sarah, Kit, and Marianne, three friends who talk about all things books, food, and travel. Welcome, readers, eaters, and travelers to Read, Eat, Travel, Repeat, the podcast and book club where books take us beyond the page. I'm Sarah.
I'm Kit.
And I'm Marianne. Today we'll be talking about These Summer Storms by Sarah MacLean. Spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't read the book yet. While we will be giving initial thoughts and ideas, eventually we will be spoiling the end.
And we'll let you know when we get to that point, so feel free to listen right up to there, pause it, go read the book, and then come back when you're done. And as always, we are adults, and we will be saying adult things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mostly about Jack. Teaser. There.
Yes.
And also because we are
Jack.
teachers headed into the end of the school year and summer break.
Yes, right.
So we decided to dive straight into a book that asks the important question: what if your billionaire family trapped you on a private island and made grief into a competitive sport? Which brings us to These Summer Storms by Sarah MacLean, a family drama packed with inheritance games, old money dysfunction, simmering secrets, and enough emotional damage to sink a yacht.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
Here's the synopsis. Alice Storm hasn't been welcome at her family's magnificent private island off the Rhode Island coast in 5 years. Not since she was cast out and built her life beyond the Storm name, influence, and untold billions. But the shocking death of her larger-than-life father changes everything.
So Alice plans to keep her head down, pay her final respects, such as they are, and leave the minute the funeral is over.
Celebration.
Unfortunately, the celebration. Celebration of life. Get it right. Not even a celebration of life, just a
Yeah, I know,
celebration.
right?
That will make sense to all of you listening after you've read the book. Unfortunately, her father had other plans. The eccentric, manipulative patriarch left his family one final challenge: an inheritance game designed to upend their world. The rules are clear. Spend 1 week on the island, complete your assigned task, receive your inheritance.
But a whole week on Storm Island is no easy task for Alice. Every corner of the sprawling old house is bursting with chaos. Her older sister's secret love affair, her brother's unyielding arrogance, and his asshole wife, but her younger sister's constant analysis of the
rotten
vibes.
kids, too.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
And her mother's cold judgment, all under the stern, watchful gaze of Jack Dean, her father's intriguing and too handsome second in command. It will be a miracle if Alice manages to escape unscathed.
A smart and tender story about the transformative power of grief, love, and family. This luscious novel explores past secrets, present truths, and futures forged in the wake of wild summer storms.
Also feel like in this synopsis, did either of you guys watch Succession?
No, but because you mentioned it, now I need to watch it.
The show is amazing.
Okay.
I binged it long after it came out. I watched the entire thing, like it's a bazillion episodes long.
Okay.
I watched it back to back to back. But this book really reminded me, because the patriarch on that too is just fucking with everybody's lives at all times. And the kids are so catty, but they also all have each other's backs. And I was like, oh, this is like if Succession was a book.
But they didn't have each other's backs. They were
They
clawing
didn't.
at each other.
But they kind of did, but they didn't. Like the kid, that's how it is in the TV show too, is the kids fucking hate each other. They're all vying for like attention and power. But then if anyone from outside the family does something, they're like, yo, not to us.
Oh, no, you don't.
Like, it's very kind of like that same vibes. And I loved that TV show. So I was about like 10 pages into this. I was like, oh. Yeah. Which I guess would be my initial reaction to this book, to jump down to the next section.
There we go.
That I loved it. So points to Marianne for recommending one that I didn't want to throw out the window because it was so sad that it made me angry. This one did not. This one was just catty and miserable people going at each other on a pretty island.
I mean, it made me not ever want to be a billionaire. You know,
Literally.
I would definitely like to have a lot more money.
I'd like a private island, but
yeah.
But I was like, damn, these people are miserable. I have all this money and they're still miserable.
Oh, absolutely loved it. And first of all, it was locked door without being a thriller.
Right.
Which was weird. And there's even a quote at the end that I was like, dude, this is it. But the family trapped in a mansion on an island that they can't escape. and it reminded me of one of my favorite books, We Were Liars.
Oh, okay.
Same concept. I mean, like, We Were Liars is much sadder. It's not
Yes.
that level, but the whole premise of this family who's so incredibly rich, they've lost sight of who they are and
Yeah.
what their relationship is to each other.
Right.
And it made me, again, want my own private island.
Yeah,
Yes.
that wouldn't be so bad. But living here in Florida in hurricane land, islands kind of scare me. But
Yeah. They come up for sale once in a while in Michigan, up way in the
Oh,
upper
yeah, yeah, yeah.
peninsula. Uh-huh.
There
By
was in the
by Isle
Adirondacks.
Royale and stuff,
Yeah.
Isle Royale National Park, and
When I was in New York, cabins up on lake cabins out on the islands would come up every once in a while, and in the St. Lawrence Seaway, there'd be islands every once in a while, and you were like, I could have an island.
I know
I can
that'd
only
be
use
fun.
it for 1 month a year, but I could have it.
isn't there a reality show on HGTV
Love-
about
Oh.
HGTV about people who buy their own island?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
It's a lot of them are
this
down
very
in the
second.
Caribbean or whatever, but they'll do the tour.
Oh,
Like,
I'm sure.
let me show you this island. It has 3 houses and blah blah blah, and it's only for sale for $10 million. And you're like,
And then the people looking at it are like,
they're like,
my
but I work at a gas
budget is-
station.
yeah, my budget's $12 million, and I work part time as a barista at Starbucks.
Yeah, right.
I'm a cat groomer.
I've been
And you're like,
approved.
what?
Yeah. Island hunters.
I
It's
knit
called island hunters.
sweaters out of dog hair.
Right.
And
I sell them on the
millions,
weekends
and
at
I'm like,
Target.
what
Yeah.
else are you doing?
Yeah, I was like, I'm doing it wrong.
All right, Marianne, what was your thoughts on this book?
I read the arc probably over a year ago, and I really enjoyed it. I just like the whole combination of like family drama, but with still a pretty sizzling hot romance in
Yep.
there, which you don't always see. A lot of, so many romances are just so formulaic so often, that this had that extra layer. I thought that there was way more to it. And then I listened to the audio just a few months ago because I was just like scrolling on Libby trying to find an audio book, and I found it. And the audio is so good. I'm pretty sure it was Julia Whalen who narrated it.
nice.
And I just love anything that like she could read the phone book, literally, unlike somebody
Yes.
else we've talked about. And I would happily listen to it.
Marianne, since you brought it up, I liked that with so many different players. Like there was romance or like a love story relationship at every kind of different level.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Elizabeth and the dad, who I'm Franklin, like had almost like a marriage of convenience.
Right.
Like
But
they
they're-
both kind of like they didn't really love each other, but they had a family and they did a thing. And then there's the long-standing relationship, unhappy marriage.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying
But
not to say names because I don't want to do spoilers. Besides, like the parents, because that's the crux of the whole
Right.
book. And then there's kind of like the epic love story
Yep.
that's gone across time that is trying to be thwarted. And then there's kind of like this new lustful,
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
will they, won't they? So there was a
Well,
little bit of everything
and
because
then
they did dig
the
into
happily
and
married.
then
Mhm.
and then the happily married
Yep.
couple.
Yep.
The other
I
thing
like
I was-
that there was a
I
little of
was-
everything.
Thinking about, but if you think about it, the main romance is actually lovers to enemies to lovers.
It is,
Yeah.
which is my favorite.
Yeah.
It is.
So-
Yeah. So to the lovers to enemies to lovers, I like that trope a lot. I feel like I'm trying to not talk about spoilers, but instead I'm just
Right.
gonna apologize. We got to talk spoilers right.
We
got
gotta get into spoilers. Yeah. Go read the book.
Apologies.
Go read the
Please
book.
go read the book. It's so good. That they don't know. Well, Jack, love of my life, honestly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
homeboy knew who she was.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
And she didn't know who he was.
I
didn't know
suspected that
she
he
was-
knew.
I suspected it too.
I
but I was
suspected
like-
Franklin sent him. I was like,
I
didn't
didn't
just
suspect
show up.
necessarily that Franklin sent him. I thought it was plausible that it was like
Like a
they just
reporter,
happened to
or-
no, that he worked for Franklin, but it wasn't like orchestrated that she was his task.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they just had run into each other on the train and that is what it is.
yeah.
But
yeah.
the fact that he's like the fixer and knew exactly who she was, and she was like, "Don't tell me your name. I don't want to
And he's
know.
like,
You're super
I
fucking
tried
hot."
to tell you who I
Right.
was.
Like, and,
And
you
you
said, no.
names complicate things.
Yeah, you're like complicated either way, friend.
Yeah.
But I like when they don't know that they're about to be enemies. Like when it's
Right,
lovers,
yeah.
like he knows it's gonna be fucking complicated. Like I feel like
Yeah.
he knew that like I'm going to
Yeah.
get what I can get tonight because tomorrow this lady's going to hate my
She's
fucking
gonna hate
guts.
me.
And she has no idea. I
Right.
liked that a
Right.
lot. Mary,
All right. So our plot points: family and relationships.
that's like this entire book.
Complicated.
Mhm.
I mean,
Especially-
families are always complicated, but I feel like when you add
Money.
inheritance, not even just
Yes.
money, but knowing
Oh,
there's an
yeah.
inheritance is like,
I've known so many people, cough, cough myself, who've had like family struggles because of inheritances, because,
Mhm.
just people just lose their minds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. That's
And
just,
then
I think,
multiply it by like
by
literal billions of dollars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say too, like, because like for each one of the siblings, how they've dealt with the money, like how the brother is like so dependent on his role within
Yeah.
the company because he doesn't have any of his own skills.
Yes.
Whereas a couple of the others, like what was the sister who was married to, I think Claudia was Emily. Okay.
Emily.
She's got a life.
like her. Yeah.
She's got a life above and beyond, the millions. Alice has
Yeah.
a life. Greta is pretty much tied into the business completely,
Yeah.
but she's got smarts of her own. But
yes.
the brother, he's just a dingbat, and he has no discernible skills. And
I had so many wonders about Sam because I think it was teased just ever so slightly when they were cleaning the bell that he enjoys working with his hands and he
Yeah.
enjoys
yeah.
the manual labor aspect
Yeah.
of life.
He complained a lot less than Scylla did.
Correct.
Yes.
And that it seemed to me that he only wanted the Storm kind of money and prestige because he was looking for like daddy's attention, basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was what he was supposed to do. Like he felt like everyone thought he was dumb and that he wasn't the best person for the job. But once Alice left, like he had to be the guy for the job. But it wasn't necessarily a thing if given the opportunity and like time, he wouldn't have picked it. Because there's just these little hints here and there about how he I think he has a line and I didn't highlight it where he says something about like, I enjoy being a father much more than I thought I would.
Yes, he does.
Yep.
And he liked cleaning the bell. He liked the pride of making it work.
Well, think about it. You see the fruits of your labor like right away. Whereas if you're running a multi-billion-dollar company, it takes, years sometimes to get something to come to fruition. And then you don't have that personal satisfaction because you've got, 3,000 people below you who are actually implementing it. You're just sitting there at the top.
And I think for this family, it was all tied to what they thought Franklin and Elizabeth wanted them to be.
Oh, yes.
Which I thought was interesting because by the time you get to the end of this game that Franklin makes them pay for their inheritance.
Should we explain the game?
I feel like if you're listening this far, you've read the book.
You've read the book.
You should, because otherwise we're like
you already
major
know the
spoilers.
game then. Yeah.
But I feel like the tasks that he gave everyone to do shows that he knew his children much better than they thought he did.
Yes.
Because I think you're right. Like if Sam really likes the manual labor, that was like his way of like, hey, guess what? You're going to descale the boats and you're going to clean the bell. Like that's
which initially he viewed as a punishment, but is it a punishment or is it a gift?
And Emily the same way, not Emily, Alice the same way. You have to stay here because he knows that he kicked her away. He kicked her out, and he needs to almost like you need to be with your family and figure it out. Like everything was kind of a task based on who they really were. Like he knew who they really were.
But what he did to Greta was just totally shitty, making her break up with Tony.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if he knew. My theory is I feel like he knew that they would end up back together because he gave Tony all that money.
Right.
In the end. And I feel like he knew that they would find the loophole.
Yes. Because she's smart enough.
There's nothing that said that he couldn't leave and come back.
Yes.
But I did at the time too think that is horrible. That is the worst thing ever.
Yes.
But if he didn't think Tony was worthy enough, he would not have given him that huge chunk of the company.
Right.
Yeah. But
and I wish we could have seen exactly what the writing was.
Yeah.
Like I wish we could have seen exactly how the letters were written.
How it was worded. Yeah.
Because was it the act for Greta? Was it like you have if it's worded, you have to break up with Tony?
Yeah.
the act of breaking up is the challenge. It's not the
But
it's
was it a test for
forcing-
Tony?
I don't know.
Right. I mean, that's
it's
the
testing
thing.
Greta's ability to make a choice for herself.
Yes.
Like
But-
it was the challenge for
Which
her
is
more.
like what he needed her to do is to choose
Right.
for herself.
Stop doing what Elizabeth tells you to do
Mhm.
and make a choice for yourself.
Yeah.
But maybe it was a test for Tony though too. Is he just like this underling who's trying to get in with boss's daughter, or does he truly love her?
Right.
You know, so that
Maybe
was a
he needed him
test.
to prove that he really
Yes.
loved her.
Yeah.
The fact that he came back
Mhm.
Yes.
proved that he was like, fuck you. I don't care. I love her.
Yeah. Right. And I've got the money. She doesn't need the inheritance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Screw you. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And then Alice's challenge of just staying there. That was the one part of the book that I am not sure I enjoyed. The last note that was found on the back of her picture.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that I loved how that played out.
Uh-huh.
Because for me it felt like inconsistent with the tight control that Franklin had on everything else. Everybody else got a note at a very specific time.
Yeah.
They knew they were going to get it. Her note hinged on the fact that at some point someone was going to look on the back of that picture.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have happened 2 days prior or however many
I
days
thought
prior
that.
when
I
she
thought-
hung the picture up. Why
Yeah.
didn't no one see it? She put it on the wall.
Right.
So then I started to get like real conspiracy theory. Like, did Jack have the letter the whole time and he
added it
staged the finding
later?
of the letter?
Okay.
So was Jack's task was keeping her there. So on the 7th day, she can see the letter, figure out how to get it to her. Like that was the only part of this book where I was really like, wait a minute.
A little too convenient or
Yeah, but I just feel like she would have seen it when she hung it up the first time. And if it was there the whole time, she only found it because the tree knocked it off the wall.
yeah.
Right.
It could have been there for years.
The thing I thought if she never saw the back of the picture when she hung it up.
I don't know.
I'm picturing like canvas.
Okay.
Where you kind of have that wood frame.
Yeah.
And she looked at it and she saw it there and then she grabbed it and put it on the wall, then you wouldn't have looked in the back. But I was still thinking, what if the tree hadn't knocked it down? But I also kind of liked that little bit of magic in there.
I do.
I just feel the storm was a little bit of Franklin trying to shake his family and get them to wake up and see what they really were missing, because the storm is really what makes them all kind of go, wait a second.
Oh yeah. Sure. Like the whole symbolism of the storm.
just a little. I mean, it wasn't like crazy magic, and it's totally realistic because it's a big storm and on the East Coast, which is it's possible. Like they even said, it wasn't a normal storm. It was like they're normally not this long. It's not that bad, but the fact that it's his oak tree that falls down and through the window, and that's when Jack is in the office and Alice realizes, oh my gosh, he's hurt. He could be like, she realizes her feelings. It's like kind of puts everything in perspective. The fact that, again, that forced proximity of them being, you're all, not only are you here, but now you have no electricity.
Right.
And you have no cell phones and you really have to sit and talk and figure it out.
And, it's one of those things, I think we've talked about this before, about like signs sometimes, that there's so much beyond what we can really see. And, that it could have been, a sign from Franklin.
Yeah.
That he sent the storm there. Like, I swear I smelled fried eggs in my mom's kitchen the day after my dad died. And it was on a Friday morning. And every Friday morning she made him fried egg sandwiches. And I didn't know that when I said, gosh, why does it smell like fried eggs in here?
Yeah. Yep.
So
100%.
Who knows?
Those little things. But I do love in a book that kind of magic, that kind of subtle magic where it's like a little bit of magical realism, but also like we're not calling it magic. We're just calling it, a coincidence, but
for sure.
Yeah. All right. The next one we had down was inheritance. And I added kind of in here the burdens and expectations of inheritance, because I find this interesting, having, of course, aging parents who write stuff like this down. And we talk about it because there's 3 of us, and that burden of taking the inheritance and doing something with it. Or my brother and my sister and I are very open about it, like talking about it, not worrying so much about equality or things like that. Like my dad has certain things, like he has he's a classic car person. He has a 69 Boss 302. And it is literally written in the will that it's not going to any of us. It is to be included in the asset because he said otherwise,
Right.
who would fight? Everyone
Who
would fight
gets
over it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's a classic restored, and he's like, if one of you wants it, then you have to take it out of your
Right.
share because of that. But I feel like in books like this, you get that expectation. Well, I thought I was going to get the house. Well, I was going to get the car, and I was going to get the airplane, and I was going to get the.
Yes.
And it becomes so materialistic. And I'm
Mhm.
the oldest. I should inherit this. I should
Yes.
be in charge of this. I should.
And then Sam's wife there, Scylla. I don't know how you would
Scylla.
pronounce
I'm
that.
trying to Seal. I think is how they said it in the audiobook.
Yeah, I was like,
Scylla.
you guys had the audiobook.
Yeah.
Her expectations kind of, I mean, she wants the money for her own reasons or whatever, but
Right.
also going, but the grandchildren.
Yes.
Like, you're not only thinking
Yes.
about the inheritance for yourself, you're also thinking about, at this point, like, Franklin is keeping those children in private schools and activities, and if that
that's
money
that-
goes away,
That burden for Sam, because what if he, like you
Yeah.
said, he likes working with his hands. What if he's like, I'm okay without this?
right?
But his wife is whispering in his ear, going, "You deserve it, and you get it."
You
That's a
deserve it.
huge burden on him too.
That's
Instead of saying,
huge.
"It's my
Well,
dad's money, he can do what he wants," she's like expecting that.
She
No,
has these
you're the
expectations.
oldest son. You're going to take it.
But
And
look
I
how
did find it-
rotten the kids were, though. I mean,
Oh,
they were
yeah.
rotten.
They
you know?
they struck me as totally normal, like middle schoolers.
I would say they were a
Just
little bit
very
redeeming. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were like pretty typical middle school personalities, but with the extra entitlement like heaped
Yeah.
on top.
Well,
Like,
yeah, that's the part I'm
especially
talking
inclusion
about.
of, like-
Like,
Yeah. And especially when you learn why they did the pranks they did.
Yeah.
well, not
Like,
so much the
we
pranks, but
couldn't
just
leave Alice. We couldn't let Aunt Alice leave the island because if Dad doesn't get the money, Mom's going to leave him.
right.
Right.
And I was like, dang, like
like
that's
that is some like baggage they're bringing
Yeah,
too.
for
But
little
I did
kids
think you
to-
got little glimpses here and there that like, oh, they're just
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah. Well,
Like, they're just kids in
I
a really
don't
shitty
disagree
situation.
with that, but I believe just the entitlement as far as the expensive shit they expected.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the part. You know, the book I'm reading that book Yesteryear right now, which is very
Oh, yeah.
popular.
Popular hot topic right now.
And they mentioned some brand of blue jeans, and I was like, I Googled them, they're like $400 jeans, and I was like, you know, so I could just picture these same kids, you know, God forbid they should wear a pair of Levi's, they'd have to wear
Right,
whatever the, you know,
Mhm.
$400 pair, like $200 t-shirts. I mean, they look just like t-shirts, you know, and like,
Mhm.
Yeah. I
So
do think some of it is to them $400 jeans though is like us buying a $20 pair of jeans.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
at that age I don't think they even realize that like
Mm.
the shit they're asking for is like way
Yeah.
out of reach of like 95% of the
Well,
population.
because
It's
the
just like, we
people-
all have it. We
because
got
the people,
it.
yeah, they're surrounded by
Yeah.
it, but yeah.
So I think given the opportunity, they'd come back around because there was the more they did the manual labor, the more like I think the girl at one was her name Saoirse? Was that the
Yes, I
daughter's
think so,
name?
yeah.
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 Saoirse
Was
and
like,
Oliver.
wait, that's so cool. You know how to do this. Like as Sam
Yeah,
was
yeah,
explaining how to
yeah.
do something, I was like, oh, okay, like they're
They start
kids.
to
Like
yeah.
they're spoiled rotten
Yes.
because look at who their parents are, but
Right.
they're kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But I did the expectations piece of this inheritance versus I'm going to jump all the way to the end of the list. That was me looking at the list. The inheritance plot twist.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Wild. I did not, it made so much sense when it happened, but I was not predicting that. I was actually predicting like a very unequal inheritance. Like
Yeah.
in my mind, I was picturing that everyone was going to get something and it was going to be what they needed, not what they wanted.
What they wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody was going to be miserable. Like I just had
Yeah.
this vision of like fucking Alice gets the island. She doesn't want anything to do with the fucking island.
Yeah.
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 And I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like that he's going to give them this thing that he thinks they need, but it's actually the opposite of what they need.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not anticipate everyone getting like $1,000.
I know, right?
Yeah.
One thing that like Jerry always said, like if we won the lottery, which I think is like a really smart idea of his, is that instead of like just giving our kids like whatever, we would match whatever they earned.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, something like that would have been a good inheritance too. Like if you keep
Yeah.
working,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll match what you earn or whatever,
Yes.
but not,
Mhm.
splitting up here, you each get $1 billion. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
that plot twist was pretty wild.
Yeah.
So just talking about like the whole thing, like even from the grave, Franklin is still controlling them,
Yeah.
that money and control,
Yes.
whether they want his money or not.
Well,
Just
but
the
then
way he's
still keeping the house and the island is his way of being like, I'm keeping the family together. It's
Yeah.
not about the money. We're keeping enough to maintain this in the family, but that's it. The rest of you need to earn yourself. Or
Yes. And I think the tagline for the book is the first quote I put on there because her father was
Yeah.
incredibly easy to fall in love with and absolutely impossible to love.
Yeah.
I think is a great way to put that, like money and control and manipulation, that he was charismatic, super fucking smart. If you were on his good side, he made you feel like $1 million, but there was a price to everything.
right.
Yeah.
And
I think deep down he loved them. He just didn't know how to show it though, too.
Mhm.
well, and I think in a lot of cases, people who are not overly empathetic or have trouble with their own emotions use
Yeah.
money as a way to not even control necessarily, but it's a way like I'm showing you that I love you because see, I bought you everything.
Right.
Yeah.
It was the money showing that they care. And I think that's a generational thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of obviously on a very much smaller scale. I kind of saw that with Franklin. He's like, but I'm giving you everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I might not say it, but it did sound like he said it to other people.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me. Like, do you know what I? But I kind of saw that on a obviously clearly much larger scale of Franklin, because Jack said it at one point. He talks about how proud he is of you, and she's like, "To fucking who?
Yeah,
Like,
right?
what do you mean?"
Well, and he has her picture on his desk. Jack's like, your picture's always on his
Right.
desk. And she's like, he fucking told me to leave 2 years ago. Like,
yes, yeah.
what do you mean he still has my picture up? But I think too, sometimes it's with generationally, it goes back and forth. You have the money and you don't want especially if you didn't have money growing up and then you have the
Yes.
money, you don't want your kids to not have the things you didn't have, versus then you overbuy things and then it kind of goes back to, I don't know where then they have their own kids and then they're like, well, wait a second.
Yes.
Sometimes I had everything handed and I don't want to do that to my kids or whatever.
Right.
And it goes back and forth where he has all this money and he spoiled his kids, but now he's realizing I spoiled them.
Too
and
much.
I did not
Yeah.
treat them to be adults. They did not figure out how to be adults. And I screwed that
Yes.
up. It's like,
And it's
because
almost
you
too
and I
late.
watched The Madison, which is totally not
Yes.
book related, but also
It is.
that's their family
There's a lot
drama.
of connections here. Yeah.
There's their family drama though, because
Yeah.
they're like basically like these kids. I mean, they're paying for even the one girl's divorced husband. They're paying for 2 houses because the parents pay for everything. And then
Right.
yeah.
when he dies, they realize
And
the same thing is in this book. They're realizing that we've
and in the Madison, he even said it because that was an argument that the two parents would have.
yeah.
And he would say, but it's my job to
Yeah.
keep them safe and keep them protected
Which
and
is
make sure they
kind
have
of-
what they need. And you're like, dang, dude.
I feel like what I feel like as a parent sometimes too. Like, well, I want my kid to be able to, but also
You
I don't
gotta
want to
get-
spoil them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I see so many people with like adult kids, like my kid's age or a little bit younger, older, they've given their kids too much and now the
Yeah.
kids just can't do it on their own.
It's got to be hard, I would imagine, if you have the money and the means and your kids have a need to go, nope, not going to help you.
Right.
Like that has to be difficult.
Yeah.
And he's got it. And he's obviously meant to be like a Steve Jobs kind of
Right.
character, started in his garage,
Yep,
worked his
yep.
way up. So he knows what it's like to not have the money.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he, as a character that we don't really get a ton of insight in my mind, I imagine that he's this guy trying to balance, he's an asshole, but also trying to balance the what do I give them, what do I make them earn?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What do I
And
make
going
them
about
work?
it in the
Yeah.
like worst possible way.
Yep. Yep.
Like right idea, wrong deployment of it, maybe. Like just not a great dude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do we got next? The people outside the family. Now, one of these is not like the other because one of them I can't stand, but the other ones are okay.
Yeah. Like definitely one of these things is not like the others. One of
Yeah.
these things does not belong. And that
100%.
thing
Yeah.
is Sela.
Yes. Yes. I mean, she
Yes.
is just this entitled.
She is a horrible person.
Yes,
She's a
she
horrible
is.
person.
But
And-
Claudia, the scene where she accidentally drugged Elizabeth,
God.
that was the
Hilarious.
funniest. That was hilarious. I
funny.
love that.
And just everybody's reaction to it.
I know,
like,
right?
You dosed our
Mom.
mother. And she's like, I only gave her a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, who
It was
knew?
on the
Mom, are
tea.
you high?
Yeah.
She just stares at the painting, and they're all
I wanna
watching
go
her
lay
stare at the
under
painting.
tree. Yeah.
Emily, your eyes are so lovely.
Yeah, dude. Amazing.
But
Yes.
Sela doesn't hide
No.
her
No.
thoughts on the family and her thoughts on that her husband should get all the inheritance, and he worked really hard, even though we know he hasn't. And he
Right.
clearly, of course, we find out he's been keeping secrets from her as well,
Yeah.
and even admits that maybe he doesn't really love her anyway. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it
think
was
he's relieved to be
marriage
rid
of
of her. I
convenience.
mean,
I
yeah,
think
he's
he is
definitely,
too.
definitely, I
it's-
think.
like loves his kids, but is kind
He's
of like, why
worried
do you
about
have to do
losing his
this?
kids,
Yeah.
but he's glad to
Yeah.
be done with her.
Yep.
And he was ready because there's kind of like a dual plot line going on with like kids and family. But
Yeah.
he was fully prepared for Sela to be like, I need to get rid of this pregnancy.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'll help her do whatever she needs to do.
Yep.
And instead, she viewed it a bit as like getting her hooks into him.
As guess
Like,
I've
what?
got
We
you
get to
now.
get married, and
we get to
'cause
get
she
married
thought
and it'll be great.
she thought
And,
he'd be
like,
such a catch, and
yes.
well,
Not
and then I
realizing
mean, and
that,
he
like,
was, but then her family went under.
Yeah.
And so suddenly her family wealth that she came from wasn't legit. And so she needed his.
She
And wait a
really
second.
needed Sam's.
Wait a
Yeah.
second. You're not getting any money from your dad's death. Your inheritance is nothing. Like she was a horrible person.
Absolutely horrible person.
And Claudia was absolutely wonderful.
I
Yeah.
loved when Claudia stood up for Emily.
Yes,
When she finally
definitely.
was like, fuck this shit. Like,
We're out of here.
And
yeah.
I think
You
is
don't-
that
you
when
don't talk to
Emily
her like that.
says, Emily says, like, I know you must really love me to put up with.
yes.
And she
Yes.
basically
Yeah.
is like, yep, I do.
Yep.
Like
sure
I
do.
put up with your family because I love you.
Because I love you.
Right.
And I'll throw down for
I-
you at the middle of this table.
Love that.
And I loved Tony too, even though we got
Yes.
like very little
Very
bits
little
about
of him,
Tony.
but
I felt like the parts that we did get for him with Greta were that he loved her enough to do whatever she needed him to do.
Yep.
Like
Right.
because he worked for Franklin,
yeah.
he had kind of a very close-up view of what kind of man Franklin was and what kind of person Elizabeth was
Yeah.
and how Greta was treated, and was willing to just wait.
Mhm.
I'll wait until you're ready.
And perhaps he knew what Greta was going to be up against.
Yeah,
And it wasn't as easy for her. And I think Greta has a lot of that, because she's the oldest, right?
she is.
That oldest child syndrome of feeling that you have to be the caretaker
Right.
because you're the oldest.
But what about
Yeah.
the whole thing though too with Switzerland? Which
Yes.
That's a major secret to try and
finding her dirty
Yes.
secret.
keep. Yeah.
but it wasn't. I mean, she didn't see it as a dirty secret. Her mother
She
did.
did.
No, it was
No.
not.
I
Her
think
family hid it. Yeah. Her
Right.
Yes.
family
Well,
did it.
her family hid it. Her parents hid it from the rest of her family too. So I think
Yeah.
it then becomes a
Yes.
dirty secret.
Right.
Because it's this thing that, like, had it played out differently, she wouldn't have been
Yeah.
ashamed of because it was
Yep.
a decision made.
Right.
But because of the way her parents treated her, like she was a dirty secret, then she internalized that to be like, it almost felt like she spent the however many years following that trying to make up for that mistake.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
because she was like Elizabeth's right hand person
lackey.
and all that.
Yeah.
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 So
Right.
it almost felt like once you found that little tidbit out, you were like, oh, that girl was trying to like fix that mistake that wasn't really a mistake
Right. Shit
for
happens.
decades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of ironic is the opposite of what happened with Scylla and what's his name, Sam.
Yeah.
You know that
Yeah.
she got pregnant and wouldn't give up the baby, wouldn't have an abortion, and then
Greta.
Greta did have one, and then she was made to feel like she was a total outcast of the family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she had to make up for it till Franklin died, and they finally all got their balls and managed to
Yeah.
break. You know, so actually, I guess like not getting the inheritance actually was what kind of let them be free.
Yeah.
Right. Which
Because
then makes you wonder, was that Franklin's plan the whole time?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Like, was that
That's his
the inheritance?
mastermind.
Was the inheritance that you by not giving them money, they're now free to do the things that they would have done if the money had never been a factor.
Yeah. Could be.
And I feel like
those
they're all
challenges nudged them in that
Yes.
direction. It makes Greta have to make a choice. Tony
and they're
or
all
yeah.
okay with it in the end. Like
Yeah.
I feel like they're all okay with like Sam has been like, well, okay, she left me with the kids, and I guess I'm gonna have to find. I mean, they say, I guess you're gonna have to find a job.
Find a job.
And he's like, okay. And then Greta doesn't even hesitate when Tony comes back. Greta
Right.
just like runs
She's
to him
that's
right
it.
away. Like, he came back. I'm sorry, I broke up with him. We're together. And like,
Yeah, this is it.
and so
Loophole.
they aren't as disappointed that they don't get the billions.
Right.
They get it
And
because it doesn't
Emily
matter
and Claudia
anymore.
are fine no matter what. Like
Yes.
they're chill. And Alice had already walked away from the money.
Yeah. In a
Mhm.
way, Emily had already done so too, because they had their own little business. So,
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah.
then the other big secret,
Emily's real parents.
Emily's
Emily,
rather,
yeah.
yes.
Oh,
Uncle Mike.
I kind of guessed that too. I was like, one of these children is not
It's
his.
not his. Yeah.
I don't know which
I-
one yet. I kind of thought it was going to be Alice.
I
but-
guessed that when Elizabeth really didn't want him to be
Right.
there.
There's something
I was like,
there.
but why?
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't know which one. I'm glad
Yeah.
it was Emily.
Yeah.
But
And ironically, and then
I want
Franklin
more
like
information
doted
about
on
them.
her. Yeah.
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 We need the Emily and Claudia story.
Yeah, I do. I want more
Yeah.
about them. I want to, and I
Yeah.
even want to know why Franklin doted on her so much.
Yeah.
Was it because he was like,
Because he
because
knew.
you could make a million guesses. Like maybe he just really did like her as like a person because her personality was so different. Maybe he doted on her because he was trying to make sure that no one was it for
Right.
show? Was it so that
Yeah.
no one ever had any reason to question
Mm-hmm.
the parentage?
Because that reflects badly on him if his wife was cheating.
Right.
Yeah. So like, I want to know
Mm.
all the whys that go
Yeah.
with Emily actually being Uncle Mike's.
Yeah.
Maybe we need a prequel, not a sequel.
Yeah, like a
Yes.
prequel. We need a prequel.
Yes.
Just of like when we yes.
Ooh. Like Franklin and Elizabeth, their story.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Read that.
One
Yeah.
hundred
TV
percent.
show. I'd read it.
100%.
And then we have the last kind of thing in there because we talked about the other ones. We didn't talk about Jack.
We did not talk about
And yeah,
Jack.
we're
because
going to
we
talk
love
about him in the
so
quotes, so
much.
it's fine.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
character arcs of the siblings.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really, just from like a form point of view, I like that even though Alice is very clearly the main character, every sibling had space and room to breathe
Yes.
and like have a story arc. Because I feel like sometimes when you have like a book with a ton of characters, there's the
Mhm.
main character and then there's like everybody else.
Yeah.
And they might
Yeah.
have little
Yeah.
bits and pieces, but the fact that Alice is the main character, but we still know all about Emily and Claudia. We know
Mhm.
about Sam and like everybody else also had a chance to have a story arc.
I feel like
I
I
like that.
I liked all the siblings in the end. I
Yes.
didn't like them at first. I mean, you like
Right.
Alice because you're kind of like, I get it, girl. Like
Yeah.
your family is a fucking mess. But I hated Sam.
Yes.
And Greta, I was like, girl, grow a pair.
Right.
Right.
And Emily, I'm kind of like, okay, how do you fit in? But by the end, you're like rooting for them
Yes.
because their arc has changed enough that they're dynamic enough that you're like, they've all found who they're supposed to be, and you see the goodness in all of them and this family.
And you can see how, like, you can imagine how they move forward.
Mhm.
Like, I did like the way it ended where they like started the group chat.
Yes.
was like,
That's
yes,
I put
like,
that
that's such a-
down
like, I
as
love
one
that.
of my
Somebody said, "Oh, when we get home, we'll do it," and they're like, "No, let's do it now."
Let's do it right now.
one of my favorite quotes, and I was like, literally the end. It says, and then in the text box, she wrote the first thing that came, a
Mhm.
fresh start. This is your sister. And
Yeah,
it was like
right.
that, just saying this is your sister, that is like the theme of the
Yes.
book. That's
Yeah.
or one of the motifs is all about family and
Mhm.
her almost reintroducing herself after
Yeah.
leaving
After
them, of saying, I
yeah.
am.
And after
It's
everything
not
that
just
happened
me,
in the
Alice.
week.
It's I'm your
Yeah.
sister. Like really
Yeah.
owning that.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
I did also like, which kind of ties to this, but not really, the this is your sister part. Because I think when she left, and one of the things that came up repeatedly for Alice was the why didn't any of you fight for me?
Right.
Yeah.
Why didn't any of you want me? And I think by the end, her saying this is your sister is her realizing that it's not that they didn't want you. They had no idea how to go against
Yes.
Franklin.
Right.
That
Yep.
there was no example of how do you defy this person that controls everything
And they thought
without
that they
losing everything.
didn't think they were strong enough to exist without him. And now that he's gone,
Right.
they've realized that they are strong enough to live on without
Yeah.
him. So,
And
and
to
they have
tie
no,
it-
choice because they have
Yeah.
$1,064 or something.
right,
Yep.
yeah, 1,106 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
1007.
1007.
1007.
Or
1107.
1107.
1107.
1107.
I do think
$1,107.
that's why I'm going to tie it right to Jack. And I pictured, by the way, I pictured Jack the entire time as looking like Jack from Lost. Matthew Shepard. Or
Okay.
not Matthew
Okay.
Shepard. Yeah, Matthew
Yeah.
Shepard. Can't remember his last name. That's
Yeah.
how I envisioned him in my head. Was
Okay.
just like that, like guy that just gets everything done. But I think that's what made her so conflicted about Jack. Is right out the gate, he notices her and he picks her. Like she has felt, especially when she's with her family, that she's nobody's first choice. They've all picked the family over her. No one stood, at least as far as she could tell, nobody stood up for her when she needed it. And right out of the gate, whether it's an act or just Jack's personality, he notices her,
Yeah.
he sees her, and he protects her.
Yep.
From like the paparazzi. And then they go hook up. And that's
Yes.
awesome too, because he's super hot.
Yep.
But I think that's why she was so conflicted about him, is because that's what she was missing. The thing she was missing was someone to choose her first.
Yes.
And then she had to question whether or not Jack actually chooses her or if he's only doing it because he's Franklin's fixer.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what the end of her note said, right? The end of her note said something along the lines of like, maybe you need a fixer to help.
Yes.
Which I read very tongue in cheek. Like it was like a wink, wink,
same.
nudge, nudge.
I was
This is your guy.
That is why I think her dad sent him on purpose, knowing flat out like
That
you were
these two
gonna
are
like him.
perfect for each other.
Yes.
But it also digs into like her deepest insecurities.
Yes.
Is that people are doing things for her because of who she is and not because of
Which
what she is.
I
Or
get,
what
but
she
I
is, not who she is.
also
I'm back and forth on that.
I also kind of felt it was almost like an apology from Franklin. To be
Right, this
like,
is a gift
I'm
for
sorry
you.
that I've treated
Do
you
you
this
think
way.
do you think he was
This
really
is
that
the
Please have this
person-
super hot fixer.
This is
do
the
you think he
person
was that
I think you
intuitive
deserve.
though? Do you think
I
he's
don't
that
know.
intuitive?
I do.
I do. I mean, because of
I
the
do.
things he did to the other kids and stuff, I do think that.
Maybe.
I do think he saw more than he was able to like express.
He knew he wanted more for his kids, and he knew that what was the ex fiance Griffin or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
that
a
douche.
loser, so
Yeah.
of course he's going to take the money and leave. I'm sure he was
Right.
like, "Yeah, go pay off that idiot."
And I also
then-
think some of it might just be that, which I think Sam says at one point, like Jack's the son my dad never had.
yes,
I think there's a truth to that. That
Probably,
like
yeah.
Jack is kind of the guy that Franklin
Right,
wishes Sam
right.
was.
mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'd like this kid as a son-in-law.
Mhm,
Like, and he's perfect for Alice. So let's shove those two together.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. How about some of these other quotes?
I had textbook eldest, emotional, aggressively caring as an eldest child. I was like, that's
Yep.
accurate.
Yep.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yep.
Greta was just a hot mess because she was trying to fucking do everything for
And-
everyone.
Yeah. I put this next quote down that you put too. We had it on twice. that
Yeah.
It's always worth leaving when someone doesn't want you to stay. Her therapist would be really proud of that answer. And I was like,
That's also like
that.
a heartbreaking sentence
Yeah.
because
Recognizing your own worth and walking away when you need
Yeah.
to because the other
Right.
person doesn't care.
right, but also the other person doesn't care. And in this case, as far as Alice believed, it was her whole family.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
she walked away from her entire family because nobody cared about her
'Cause
enough
nobody
to
cared.
ask her to stay.
Yep.
I was like, ooh.
But weren't they
Ouch.
expecting her for some 4th of July or something and then she didn't come?
They invited her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
But
for
she-
Emily and Claudia's wedding too, she didn't show up.
She didn't
Yeah.
show because she didn't feel like. I honestly, like, if I was in her position, I wouldn't have showed either.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I'm gonna pull attention away from everyone because everyone's
Mhm.
gonna be like, "Ooh, she's back."
Yeah.
Yeah. I put this one on here just because we're
I
all
love it.
teachers, and I was like, "Dude, fucking accurate." I'm
I
a
know,
teacher.
right?
We don't sleep. Yes.
And the
True.
fact that we're recording late tonight
It is-
because we
yeah.
all had the stuff that had to
Because
be
I had
done.
school stuff. I had a teacher's meeting. so sorry.
We're like, it's almost summer. We can sleep.
We
when
have,
summer
yeah, I've
comes.
got 1 week left.
I have 3.
And then I
yeah.
have PD after that,
Yeah.
like the week after. But a week with students.
Ugh.
Listen.
I love this.
I would like this to be a movie.
Oh, yes.
Yes. All of her descriptions about Jack, I was like, I want to see. I would like a Jack. Thank you so much. But I had like several quotes, but these were my 2 favorite. The top buttons of his shirt were undone. The cuffs were rolled up in that effortless way men had. Like they didn't know it triggered women's reptilian brains.
It's so true.
I'm going to take a side. I'm going to sidebar right here. I had to explain to a guy friend, I'm not going to call him out because sometimes he listens to this podcast, that was a thing that did it for us. Because
100%.
he 100% didn't believe that the forearm thing was real. I was like, it's real.
Totally
that
real.
and the backwards hat.
Yeah.
Roll your sleeves up and flip your hat around.
Flip your hat around and we're gone.
And we're done. I'm done. I'm going to fold like a lawn chair.
I was just flashing back to, what was that? Just My Luck, was it? The one we read with the
Yes!
donut baker?
Yes. But the fact that, like, in this book, they acknowledge the fact that, like, they don't know it triggered reptilian brains makes it seem like they do know. They don't fucking know. They don't know. They don't understand. It's like a Victorian man seeing a Victorian lady's ankles.
Oh, yes.
And he's got a tattoo right there? Come on.
Yeah.
Roll your sleeve up and
Peeking
let me
out.
see your tattoos? Dude.
Yeah.
I digress. The second part of that was the Mr. Darcy moment when he came out of the water. So she dives in off the boat and is like, haha, sucker, thinking that he's not going to be able to stop the boat. And he's like, fuck that shit. I'm an expert sailor. Stops the boat on a dime and dives in after her. Please. But the way it was worded was his casual linen button down clinging to him in a way that some might consider a clear nod to Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy.
We all know what that reference is.
Mhm.
Like, that is such a clear picture of like, yes, yep, that is Mr. Darcy coming out of the fog.
Coming
and it's
out of the
rainy
fog.
And it's yeah.
I'm
And he
thinking
goes,
the Keira Knightley movie where he's like shows up in the park after
That's
church.
exactly what I'm
and
thinking
he's
of.
soaking wet.
Yes.
Like, and he tells her he loves her most ardently.
Yeah. And she's like, like, you're an asshole. What are you talking about?
But he's all wet and hot.
Yeah. And his shirt is like kind of see-through. Please. Which, did either of you watch Bridgerton? Now I'm going real sidetracked.
Yes.
Johnny Bailey.
Oh, gosh, I love him.
First
Hottest
of all,
gay man
just
ever.
Yes. But when he flips out of the boat and he pops out of the water,
Yeah.
do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
Like burned in my brain, and he's like raw, like all his muscles and the shirt out. So I was like, I'm done. I would, would drag you into the bushes
She's
right
a
now.
man
And
for
climb you like
everybody.
a tree.
Literally everybody.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this summer, though, because I'm woefully behind also on movies made of like classic novels. So maybe that will be my summer project this year. Like last year was
Have you
holiday
not
movies.
seen the Keira Knightley Pride and Prejudice?
I have not.
Oh, yeah.
That is your summer project. That is
That
your
is
summer
your
project.
summer. That is,
I
if
know
you
there's
watch
like some
nothing
little-
else.
yeah. I read a
That's
couple
the
of Bridge.
one.
I never
And-
watched Bridge. Did I watch a couple? I watched the
Matthew McFadden has a couple of these weird, like when he stutters when he's like, I love you. You're like,
What? But when he gets on it, I'm talking to Sarah now and Marianne. When you watch the movie, you're going to be like,
You'll be
that's
like,
what they're talking. You're either going to be like, I understand what they're talking about, or you're going to be like, the fuck is wrong with these two?
Yeah.
He helps her. Let me explain. They're in the
The
carriage.
hand? The hand.
He helps her out of the carriage. I have to stand up so you only see my hand
Grabs
because you
her
only
hand,
see his
right.
hand.
Yep.
Takes her hand, helps her out of the carriage, and then she lets go. And his hand goes because
just,
he
like,
can't like
flexes
handle the emotions of like holding her hand because he loves her so much. And it's a hand flex. There's pictures and videos everywhere all over the
Of the
internet.
hand flex. Yep.
But it's the first moment that you realize that like, holy fuck, this guy loves her.
Yeah.
They hate each other, but he loves her. He doesn't know what to
Yeah.
do with that emotion. And he just
The
clutches his
original
hand.
enemies to lovers.
Yeah, it's so good.
And again,
That's the
when
one
he-
you have to watch first.
When he tells her that he loves her most ardently, I never thought of the word ardent as being a very romantic way to tell someone.
But it's the way,
But the way he says it, I'm like, damn.
And it's one of those like perfect casting moments. This should just be its a whole separate episode as us talking about Matthew McFadden. as Darcy.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
I've seen him in other things, and I can never
Agreed.
imagine him as like a romantic
Agreed.
lead.
I've watched
He's
him
in
in like
Succession. He's amazing in it. First of all, he's horrible as like the character he plays. You're like, ew, gross. Like, ew, gross. But also, you were Mr. Darcy.
yes.
Like, I can't reconcile his other characters with that character. It was just so perfect. But
He's
yeah,
in a
the little
show-
stutters.
He's in a show on Peacock right now called The Miniature Wife with Elizabeth Banks. It's fantastic.
Yes.
It's kind of a douche. Not
He's
good looking at
not-
all.
No offense, Matthew
He's in a movie
McFadden,
with
if you
Cat-
ever
with-
listen to this podcast, I don't find you overly attractive,
But I do in
except for
Pride
as
and
Mr.
Prejudice.
Darcy. He's like, and I love Colin Firth, and I know this is a big
I
debate
know.
over which one is better.
Which one's
the Colin,
better?
It's Matthew McFadden.
I know.
Fadden? I don't even know how to say
Fadden,
your
yeah.
name. I'm so sorry. Yeah, if you have not watched Keira Knightley's Pride and Prejudice,
Yes.
you should. It's amazing.
Who's the guy
And
in
Matthew
60 though?
McFadden as Darcy. But the minute they reference that, like, kudos to the author on that for being like, it's a Mr. Darcy moment. Because I immediately went, yep,
Uh-huh.
fold. I fold. Like, yeah, you come out of the water looking like that.
Mm-hmm.
We can
Done.
stay right down here for
I'm
days.
done.
It's
I'm
fine.
done.
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 Yeah.
Yep. Anyway,
Also, Jack was also very charming. Moving on to the next
Yes.
quote.
he was.
I think it was Claudia at one point. It was either Claudia or Emily as Jack's talking during the one scene where she goes, "Oh, he's good."
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
he
she
is.
knows he's saying the right
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
I don't even know who put this next quote on there. It might have been me. I put so many Jack
I
things
think
on
these
there.
were all you. Yeah.
I did not do
I
the
put the-
sweetheart one.
I
Up
did.
until
but-
Evolution of Sweetheart. That
Yeah.
was.
All right,
but-
so this next one was mine. Jack hated it for a different reason. He exhaled his disapproval. No, not because it's my job. It's because you're going to be my life. I think that's where Emily goes, "Oh, he's good."
and that
what
is
I-
a very Mr. Darcy thing to say. That's
is.
people are be like,
And I think that's why they all kind of like Jack in terms of like,
yeah.
some of them hate Jack. Like
Right, at
Sam hates
first,
Jack. Yeah.
yeah.
But I think they grew up in a house where nobody talked about emotions and feelings. And here's this super masculine guy, super hot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep saying it. And he's not afraid to like throw his body around to protect people.
Yep.
But also not afraid of being honest with his emotions. Like he has no problem looking at Alice and going, "You might not be ready yet, but I pick you.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yep.
don't know how you feel yet,
Yep.
but you are going to be my life."
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She has to accept it because she's never had that before.
Anybody who's willing to go to bat for her like that. Yeah.
Yeah, both like physically and emotionally.
Mhm.
Like he's willing to protect her when things go sideways.
Oh,
and
and
he's
then when
also
he
willing
gives-
to look at her and go, "You're it for me."
And
Like,
he
you're it.
he gives up his share of the company.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Billions.
that
Billions
doesn't tell
he
you
gives up.
how he feels. I mean, yeah.
Which is the opposite of what the ex-fiance does.
Yeah, so
Griffin
is he-
takes the money and cuts and runs.
Well, isn't that quote down here? Oh, yeah. I don't work at Storm anymore. Since when? He looked at his watch a little before midnight. You gave up the money, Jack. The stock was worth. It doesn't matter. That's not the stock I'm aiming for.
Yes.
Yeah. Because in
He wanted
Franklin's letter,
Class
he
A
refers.
stock.
Yeah. In Franklin's letter, he refers to Class A stock, which
Yeah.
is Alice.
Alice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, he knows that he has to prove to her, I'm not picking you because
Not here for the money.
of
Right.
the money. I'm not here because of the money.
Especially
After
because when
Griffin.
you consider the timeline, they've only known each other for less than a week.
A
Yes.
week. Yeah.
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 And he's all in. And she's rightly so very skeptical.
Yeah. Marianne, I liked what you put here with the word sweetheart.
I do too. Tell us
Yeah.
all about it.
Well, I've just felt like that the word sweetheart evolved throughout the book, like like about the 65% mark, because I should have written down the chapter numbers, but he makes this comment, and I just kind of pictured as kind of smarmy, like, "Sweetheart, if I thought you wouldn't regret
Yep.
it, I'd take you
Like,
upstairs to your tower room and make it the right time." And it just seems kind of smarmy and cocky,
Yeah.
you know?
Uh-huh.
But then by the 79% mark, because of course I read this on my Kindle, he
I
said,
like that you put percentages.
I
Like I
know,
like
right?
that. I was like, oh, nice.
he said, he's sweetheart. He said that word warming all the corners she'd planned to reserve. If he was playing her, he was great at it, and she was done for. This can be whatever you want, no matter what happens. That's the truth. And so that seems like so much more sincere. Like this, I went from like
Yes.
this smarmy, cocky
Yep.
sweetheart, and then at 91%, almost at the end of the book, he whispered her
Mhm.
name to her temple. It's okay, sweetheart. I'm with
Mhm.
you. And I was
And
just
that was
like,
after
oh.
she ran to him, I think, in the office when the tree fell,
Yes.
and she was scared.
Yeah,
and
Yes,
he
yes,
kept
because she
trying to
thought he
calm
she
her
thought
could've
it
been
got
down.
him.
her.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And so it's just like it evolved like to where I just felt it was like, yeah, sweetheart, you better get, do this or that or the other. But like a kind of a smarmy cocky, but at the end it's like, oh,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
whispered her name. It's okay, sweetheart. I just, yeah.
I loved this quote. Being poor isn't a virtue, Alice. It's just less fun than being rich.
Yeah, I know. That's a good one.
Yes.
I was like, yep. And then back to hot Jack.
Yep.
Who doesn't want somebody to say this? I spent my whole
Yes.
life wanting this, aching for exactly this, for this feeling, for the knowledge that I had someone on my side, and now you're here and you're fucking great. I want you, not for the company or the stock or the money, not out of some
Mhm.
misplaced loyalty toward your dad. I want it for me because I'm a selfish bastard and I've wanted you since the moment I sat next to you on that train.
So I have a question.
Dunzo.
Because yes, 100% all in, done. Here is my question. Jack obviously works for Franklin. We find out through the course of the book that Franklin has disowned Alice on one hand. Like, if you're not going to be with me, you cannot be on this
Mhm.
island. You're not part of
Right.
the family, this, that, the other. But obviously keeping tabs on her because he knows where her work is going to be for sale.
He bought her painting.
He bought her
Yeah.
painting, keeps the picture on the desk. He's clearly keeping tabs on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jack knows who she is. How much do you think Jack has a picture of that? Like, I just imagine Jack
Yeah.
thinks he's going to love her before he even meets her. Like, I think he
Hmm.
has this vision of her in his head.
Yeah.
And when he
probably.
sits down next to her on the train and realizes that, like, oh, she is what I think she was going to be.
Or better than I expected, even like.
Because it
Yeah.
is a really fast whirlwind
Right.
turnaround.
Yes.
But I got a feeling here and there with little things that Jack said about, well, your dad did this, or your dad said this, or I knew who Griffin was because I was keeping tabs on this, that, the other. That it's a week of them together, but maybe a much longer time in Jack's mind.
Yes.
Because
Yeah, because he knew
knows
she
who
was.
she is. Yeah.
And he's heard about her from her dad. Heard about her
Yeah.
from her dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seen
So
her
when he said
picture.
the moment I sat down next to you on the train, I'm thinking like, oh, you had it in your head way
Mhm.
before that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That you
Yeah.
were intrigued by this person, if nothing else.
And then she shows up and she's better than what you had in your brain. And this is
Yes.
awesome.
Right. And she's exactly what you think she's going to be. She's
Yeah.
bitchy and she's
Yeah.
pushy and she's insecure and emotional
But she
and
doesn't
you
take
are
shit from people. And
yeah. And you are exactly the right kind of guy. She does need a fixer.
Yeah.
he
She
probably
needs
wants
someone
to
that's gonna,
know who is this
like, push
person that would
her and,
stand up to Franklin. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
work with Franklin, so who's this person that basically said, screw you?
Right. So she needs someone that's going to push back at her, but also someone that's going to love her, even though she's a hot fucking mess.
Well, and I think though too that she's strong on her own because she's shown that she can
Yes.
survive without
Yep.
the billions.
Yep.
She
But
can
she doesn't
survive on
wanna
her
be
own.
alone.
But she's got now. It's nice to have somebody who's going to support you, even when you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
you can do it by yourself. It's nice to have someone who can
Yeah.
be there with
Yeah.
you.
And someone that fully understands why you have the baggage
Right.
you have.
Yes.
Like, she's never going to have to explain to him why certain things upset her or why,
Right. Yeah.
why I don't trust this, that, the other. Like, he knows.
he knows adult Franklin
Yeah.
better than she does.
Correct.
Because she
Yeah.
knows Franklin as a father, and she hasn't seen him really for 5 years. So, yeah, so he knows present day Franklin much better than she
Mhm.
does.
And then I had my pseudo favorite because I love a good locked door, deserted island, or not deserted,
Yes.
island, private island. The quote near the end of the book when she's thinking about the island and she just says, without the Gothic manor house doing what Gothic manor houses did, dredging,
Yeah.
dredging up the past, haunting them. And I was like, yep, this is why I love this trope.
Yes.
Even though they never refer to it as like I pictured it as not a Gothic manor house, but
I
more a
didn't
big
picture it like that at all.
seaside. But I thought it was funny that
It's got a
she
turret,
called
so
it
it's
that.
like
Yeah,
kind of
that's true.
castle-like.
That's
so
true.
I pictured.
She has a tower. That's right, because she was in a tower. So
That's true. Yep.
I imagined. Hold on, because it's New England, right?
Yeah.
oh,
Let me
like
see,
a
I
widow's
found-
walk kind of thing.
Let me see if I found a picture. They've got like the cedar like slat siding.
Yeah.
And they're shaped
Oh, they
like
talk about-
Victorian. Like
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the island houses like even in the Adirondacks, because that's like moving into New England kind of style. They had I can't think of the words. That's like the thing. It's not like a full turret, but you have a Victorian looking house, and then you have this random like circular section that would like on the first floor it'd be your bay window. And by the
Okay.
time you get to the third floor, it's like this weird little attic room
Yeah.
that has windows, and it looks like a turret, but it's like Victorian
Yeah.
cedar shingle house style.
Like
That's how I pictured it in my head. At no point did I picture it like a Gothic mansion.
Yeah.
That kind of like threw me off.
Well, they talk about it being shingled too. I picture
Yeah.
that kind of more of a
So hold on, let me open it. I'm talking
Kinda
myself
like the
at this
picture
point,
I
so
just
found a
sent you?
picture. Yeah. I got another one. The one I'm sending you is kind of what I was picturing. Maybe not these colors, but this idea of like this giant manor with like the rando turret on the side.
Yeah.
But it was much more of a New England style house than a Gothic mansion.
Yeah, I can see that.
This is what I was kind of thinking because they
You
talk
know
about the
what?
gray shingled house, but that's very
Yeah.
New England to me.
So if you Google, those of you listening, if you
And
Google,
that island is for sale, by the way, in Rhode Island. So
we could have our own island. If you actually Google Gothic Manor, New England, it is literally a cross between a Gothic manor and the pictures we were just sharing with each other.
oh, that's funny.
So like maybe more like buttresses and like
Yeah.
darker colors, but that same style.
Yeah. Okay.
So kind of a New Englandy house, but with some Gothic vibes.
Yeah. She said, I was reading, I always read the afterward and stuff, talking about how it's a thing, these like private islands in Rhode Island in this
Oh, no,
bay
it's
and
a
everything.
thing. For sure.
And how you can buy them. And not like the breakers. Like it's like literally these
Right.
Manhasset Bay. Is that what it's off of? Or is that what the bay was
don't
called?
know.
I don't remember. Sometimes these islands come for sale. You can actually tour a private island sometimes. There's like tours for them. And I'm like,
Oh
okay.
yeah, you know what? I could see this house because it kind of reminds me of like pictures I've seen of like the Kennedy compound. Okay, so let's get on to the food. There wasn't as much food as there was
I wanted there to
alcohol.
be so
I
much
know.
food.
I wanted more description of food.
Yes.
There wasn't a lot of food description, just
Yeah.
like in passing.
Yeah.
Eat
I
these
said-
canapes and things like that.
Yeah,
But-
it felt like for a celebration, which
Yeah.
as a sidebar, Elizabeth's dedication
Yes.
to not letting anyone discuss the fact that this is for a dead person
I know, right?
is amazing. Because it's not a funeral.
Mhm.
And
It's
it's not even a celebration of life. It's just
a
It's just a
celebration.
celebration. We're having a party. Like it's just a celebration. Hilarious.
I feel like Alice talked a lot about the canapes too. Like,
Mhm.
like never really saying what they were, but it was like champagne and canapes. That's how you
Well,
solve everything. That's what my mother thinks is a celebration. Champagne and canapes.
I did catch a tiny lobster roll and a mini lobster quiche.
Oh,
Yep.
And one of her friends who came up to support her had like a whole, she piled a whole plate full of canapes.
Yes.
Yes. But it seemed,
At that
Oh.
part, I was imagining, because Alice does talk about it so much, that this is a thing that she has said to her friends repeatedly.
yes.
Like it's a thing that comes up, like my mom and her fucking canapes. So when she gets to the island, she's like, these must be the famous canapes. I'm going to get a whole bunch. Like, I've heard so much about them. I should do this.
a lot of seafood. Dad eating oysters on the docks. July 4th, oysters and lobster boils and cocktails. One thing I thought was interesting when Alice, what she paid off, what was her student loans, or she paid her dad off for something. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head because it's been a while since I reread it. That she met him at a taco place in Union Square to give him the check. And I was like, I just can't picture Franklin Storm in a taco place.
I had, again, this is why I would love a prequel about Franklin and Elizabeth. Because we know he didn't come from money.
Right.
So I wonder, this isn't a wonder, I wonder.
Oh, is he like more low key than Elizabeth? Kind of like,
yeah, or like
Sam and Sela, that she's so uppity and he's kind of more.
And he's like along for the ride. Puts on a show of being like kind of uppity and like liking the power. But I forget who mentions it at some point, says something along the lines of he's always chasing like the next big thing because he doesn't want to like fall down the ladder per se. Right. So he's always chasing the next big thing, the thing he can make money on, the next project, the next this, the next that. But at one point he was just a guy. So I imagine him looking like fully out of place at the taco place, but I think it's somewhere that he would have gone at one point in his life.
Yeah, obviously, because that's where she met him. So
right, but I think he maybe was more low key than he lets on. Because he's the adrenaline junkie. I love everything that's happening right now because now it's Sarah's turn to have a dog interrupting the podcast.
He's playing with his lightsaber.
The rest of us has been there. He's playing with a lightsaber?
Yeah. It's his lightsaber toy.
A lightsaber toy?
He carries around.
I love that.
Stella grabbed the other one at one point and they were fighting with him and we were like, this is amazing.
That's amazing.
My family has left him down here with me. They're like, we're going to bed, bring him up. And I'm like, he's
great.
But he wants to be by me all the time, so.
Yeah. It's just such a relief when I hear you guys talking about like Sarah talking about your dog sleeping by your head because Oswald sprawls across our bed, and so I'm like I feel like I'm a failure as a pet mom because my dog sleeps on the bed. But
Gus sleeps like the dog from Cinderella, where like at any minute he's gonna have a dream and his legs are kicking a million different ways, but he does it right next to me on the bed.
Yeah, I get paws to the face a lot because he stretches out and he's pretty big to stretch out. But
Gus looks really small until he stretches himself out, and then you're like, you're fucking giant. Like, holy shit. When he like tucks himself all in, he's so little and cute, and then he stretches out, and you're like, mother of God.
I know, right?
All right, let's jump to places. Because I think we hit kind of the fact that there's food, but like not a lot of food.
Yeah. Oh, the lace tea. The lace tea, though, was the best part.
The lace tea was definitely.
I was like the fact that they're like, how did she get high? And she's like, well, the tea.
I might have dosed
just microdose.
Little
microdosing.
Microdose for someone who's never been dosed ever.
Yeah. I love that scene so much. Yeah.
And no one questions it because Claudia's the favorite, not child.
Right.
She can just walk in and hand Elizabeth anything. And she's like, yes, thank you so much, darling. And you're like, I also like that she kept offering to do it again. Maybe I should bring her some tea. Everyone's like, no.
Okay.
Well, some of these places we just kind of talked a little bit about Rhode Island and the islands.
Yeah. Definitely makes me want to go to Providence, Rhode Island, because I know they're supposed to the beautiful houses there, like the Gilded Age mansions. I've never been there. I've driven through Rhode Island, but I've never been to Providence. So that's definitely.
Marianne's planning a road trip in her mind. I can see it.
Well, I need to go visit my friend in New Hampshire this summer, so maybe I could fly into Providence.
Side quest.
Last year I went down to Hyde Park, New York. It was really pretty. The Hudson River Valley. After I spent a few days with Barb, so maybe this year I'll do Providence. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so final thoughts.
Loved it.
Yay!
Enthusiastic thumbs up. I really did like this one because I do. Similar to what I said at the start, it's a lot like Succession. I like the kind of like family hates each other internally, but God damn it, no one else is coming for us kind of vibe. And I did really, really like that there was a lot of moving players and a lot of moving parts, but I didn't feel like anyone was left in the dust. Like I felt like I had a resolution for everyone that I cared about. Like anyone that I wanted to know how it was going to end, I knew pretty much how, or had like we don't really know what Sam's gonna do, but we know what
Right.
where Sam
But he's
stands.
okay. He's
Yeah.
okay in the end. Like,
So I
yeah.
thought it could have been a messy ending in terms of like tying up loose strings, but I thought it was really well done. I liked it a lot.
Good.
How about you, Sarah?
Same. Absolutely loved it. We'll definitely look for more by Sarah MacLean. I'll definitely read more. I'm always in it for a good family drama, Private Island.
Yeah.
Apparently one of my favorite summer reading tropes. But also, too, I loved the ending. I loved that last line was the text of her saying, "It's your sister." I was just like, oh, that's so
like it all comes together.
powerful. Like it didn't matter what was said after it. It was the fact that she reached out and you know that their family's going to be okay without the money. So, Marianne, how about you?
Well, I feel vindicated that I finally picked a book that Kit didn't hate. But I just loved it too. Like I said, I love the fact you get tired sometimes of those cookie cutter romances when you want. And so this had so much more, you know, the family drama, the inheritance games, and that very hot romance in with it was just like the perfect like trifecta there, you know. So
definitely.
So I definitely loved it. Both, like I said, both reading it and I thought the audio was excellent too. So
this is one that I think I'll definitely request an audio on from Libby because I did like reading it a lot. I've done audiobook a few times for the purpose of the podcast, and I find it really hard to remember like favorite lines. So I have to read it on the Kindle so I can take notes. But I want to listen to this one.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. So shall we go ahead and announce our book for next month? Summer is heating up.
You're going to listen to my dog's squeaker toy because he won't stop.
You know, it's kind of like a drum roll.
He found his bone for a hot second, and now he's back with the squeaker. We only have 25 of them, but
there's only so many.
I know. All right, but it is time now to reveal our featured book for June. Here are a few clues. Clue number 1, what happens when 3 women at wildly different stages of life realize they're all desperate for a fresh start?
I like that
and
he's
a dog toy.
He's speaking like in unison with your words. He's like
he's across the room too.
I love it.
Clue 2, can one chaotic summer adventure actually help you find the version of yourself you thought you'd already lost?
And clue number 3, 3 women, 1 summer. Several questionable decisions.
We love those.
We do love those. Absolutely life-changing consequences. And our June book, Cash, this is where I need the drum roll. Paco, Cash, what do we call this dog?
Cash. His name's Cash.
Come here, Cashy. Now's your moment to squeak to your heart's content. Now he's like,
now he's dropped the toy. Oh no.
I don't squeak on command. Our June book is Summer Seekers by Sarah Morgan. And it's a road trip book. So
I love the cover.
I know, I do love the cover too.
Yeah.
So that's it for now. Thank you for everyone who's joining us as we talked about These Summer Storms by Sarah MacLean.
And if you enjoyed this episode, head to our profile, check out the other books we've featured so far, including books like Just Our Luck, Grace and Henry's Holiday Movie Marathon, The Best Dog in the World, and so many more. And if you're looking for book recommendations, each month we share what books we've read across every genre.
Are you ready to dive into These Summer Storms by Sarah MacLean? Or suddenly, are you feeling the urge to dramatically stare out at the ocean while unpacking years of family trauma on a private island? You're in luck because you can grab These Summer Storms plus all of our past featured reads and some upcoming picks over on our bookshop.org storefront.
Plus, we have a new shelf.
We have a new shelf. What is that new shelf called?
I forgot about that.
Books that will make you cry, aka books that Kit would hate.
Yeah, my hate list. I don't love a sad book, okay? But that's all right because every book that you purchase off of bookshop.org supports independent bookstores, even the ones that I don't like. Not that I don't like independent bookstores, the books that I don't like. I love independent bookstores. It's fine. And we love independent bookstores almost as much as we love messy inheritance games, emotionally unavailable rich families, suspiciously attractive right-hand men, Jack and Darcy, and books that make us whisper, oh, this is deeply unhealthy, while turning pages at an alarming speed. The link to our shop is bookshop.org/shop/RETR-book club, or you can head to our website and click right on the link. So shop smart, shop indie, read recklessly, and maybe avoid accepting mysterious invitations to remote family islands for a little bit. Although, I think
If
all three of
Jack's
us
there,
would,
I'm
you
in.
know, what if there's a Jack there? All three of us are accepting the invitation.
Yes, exactly.
This is
Yep,
what it
we're
is. We
in,
make
we're in.
poor decisions.
And we've got something new, our RETR Substack, where we keep the conversation going with behind-the-scenes thoughts, bonus content, and all the things we didn't quite fit into the episodes. Don't forget to follow along, subscribe to the podcast, and leave us a review. We genuinely want to hear what you think, and yes, we will definitely read it.
And if there's a book you think we should feature or just add to our TBRs to talk about on those monthly recaps, let us know. We love suggestions. And that sounded
Always.
sarcastic, but it's not.
No,
Because
but we really do.
We really do.
Yeah.
We really would like every book in the world.
Yes.
So until next time, keep reading.
Keep exploring.
And don't forget to pack some snacks.
Woo!
Yay!
Yay!